You'd think after strong-arming their way through the First Opium War, humiliating the Qing dynasty, and walking away with Hong Kong, the British Empire would chill. Nope. Round 2. And this time, they brought France. Because what's colonialism without a plus one? It all kicked off in 1856 with a flimsy excuse involving a ship called the Arrow. Chinese officials boarded it, arrested some shady crew, and allegedly tore down the British flag. Britain screamed violation. Was it about justice? Please. They just wanted a better deal and another excuse to flex their empire, and the French were down to tag along after a missionary was killed. So now it's opium, silver, and holy outrage. Double trouble. Let's talk about that French excuse. The missionary? Father Auguste Chapdelaine, a French Catholic priest who was preaching Christianity in Guangxi province without permission. China wasn't exactly rolling out the welcome mat for foreign missionaries, especially in places brimming with anti-foreigner tension. He was arrested, accused of illegal preaching, and possibly linked to local rebellion, and executed. France? Outraged. But let's be real, they weren't joining the war just for one priest. They saw an empire-expanding opportunity and took it, disguised as righteous anger. Together, Britain and France stormed China, demanding more ports, more trade, and the right to send diplomats directly to Beijing, then romanized as Peking, before China had a standardized spelling system. The Qing resisted, but it was a mess. The British and French armies marched in, and by 1860, they looted and burned the Summer Palace in Beijing like it was their imperial playground or a colonial Black Friday. China was forced to sign the treaties of Tianjin and the Convention of Beijing. More ports forced open. Foreign embassies in Beijing. Legalization of opium. Yes, again. And here's the kick. In the First Opium War, Britain got Hong Kong Island. This Second Opium War, they grabbed Kowloon too. Piece by piece, colonial real estate style. This era wasn't just about lost land. It was psychological. The century of humiliation. A period of national trauma where foreign powers carved up China like a buffet. And let's not forget that infamous legend. The sign in a Shanghai park that allegedly read, "No Chinese and dogs allowed." Was that the literal sign? Maybe not. The rules of the park reportedly had separate lines that read, "The park is reserved for the foreign community. Dogs and bicycles are not allowed." But honestly, Chinese citizens were banned from entering their own public spaces while foreigners were welcome, and dogs were allowed under certain rules. So the discrimination was very real. But why it stuck in public memory? It was used in films and literature, especially in Bruce Lee's Fist of Fury, 1972, where the sign literally appears. And here's the kicker. China saw this coming. Years before, during the lead-up to the First Opium War, Commissioner Lin Zexu had already written a boss-level letter to Queen Victoria. He basically said, "If opium is so great, why aren't your people using it?" He demanded Britain stop poisoning his people and even destroyed thousands of crates of opium. Britain didn't send a thank you note. They sent warships. So yeah, the Second Opium War? It wasn't just about opium. It was about dominance, pride, addiction, and a power play so bold it still stings in textbooks. And after all of that, still no official apology. Not then, not now, not even a polite cough of regret. Just one very long receipt in China's collective memory. Because when you legalize drugs to save your silver flow, burn palaces, and insult a civilization, that's not diplomacy. That's empire with extra spite. China called it national humiliation. Britain called it business as usual.